Trust me, I know it's been a while. Episode 6 of the Brooklyn Nets franchise mode series. I am doing a voiceover for this one just because my audio quality was bad when I recorded. So just treat this like a catch-up episode. We're 11th in the conference in year 2 of this series. Wemby's the leading MVP vote getter, or just standings, power ranking, whatever. Mikel Brown is 3rd in Rookie of the Year right now. He's had a really impressive rookie campaign. For the event randomizer, we got buyout, and the Hornets are buying out Miles Bridges, and the Cavs are going to pick him up because they need offensive pop, especially off the bench. So they're going to go ahead and pick him up. And also the Hawks were the streaking team, so they were rewarded with plus in all attributes, players 1 through 15. On our end, we got I'm him. Our best player goes up by 3 attributes, and that's going to be Yegor Zhomin. And also, we had a defensive event for us, and Day'Ron Sharpe was the lucky guy here. I went ahead and upped his defensive consistency, well, all of his defense mental attributes and his low post / interior defense, so he can be more of a defensive anchor and deterrent for us. We're going into the dog days of the season, going into late February, and it's kind of a mixed bag. We're winning some games, losing some games, losing a lot of games that I think we should win. I go ahead and simulate to this game against Miami because they're really close with us in the standings. They're another team that's making a push for the 10th seed in the East, and we blow them out by 40. Our backcourt showed up here. Mikel Brown 19-8-5, Yegor Zhomin 18-4. They led the way. Isaiah Joe was really prolific off the bench, so we get a big win against them there. Caleb Wilson has a relatively minor injury, so he's going to be out for a little bit. Jeremy Grant enters the starting lineup. We lose against Orlando and Cleveland, and I simcast this game against Detroit because they are also kind of close to us in the standings, and we beat them by 16. Another good game from Mikel Brown. He puts up 22. Jeremy in the starting lineup puts up 20, and we are still 11th in the conference. So we're not too far behind Miami. We pick up a game on against Orlando, lose against Memphis, and lose against Phoenix. And then going into the next week, we actually lose against Orlando again. And this is the game that I get gameplay for. We're going against Miami head up. Now, they are running a lot of small ball. They're playing Norman Powell at the 4, so I tried taking advantage of that early on with a pick and roll play with Caleb Wilson. He converts there. Jaden Ivey is on this team, and he's able to get by Mikel Brown to the rim. But we run a play for Mikel Brown to get an open 3, top of the arc. He knocks it down. Now, both teams were knocking down shots at a crazy rate to start out the game. It would slow down pretty much this quarter, but I mean, both teams were firing on all cylinders for the first couple of minutes. We get Yegor Zhomin attacking the paint, getting the easy lay there. Caleb Wilson, now pay attention to that matchup. Wilson versus Norman Powell. He has a good closeout there. Leads to a Yegor Zhomin transition dunk. Yegor Zhomin would have a really good game here. I was really aggressive with him getting to the paint because I can't shoot with him. I know he's shooting really well from 3 IRL, but I cannot shoot with Yegor Zhomin, so I had to make it a point of emphasis to get to the rack as much as possible with Yegor Zhomin, especially in transition. He draws the foul there. He was able to get by Tyler Hero more often than not. At the free throw line, he goes 1 for 2. 10-7, about 4 minutes into play. We get Isaiah Joe an open look on the left wing. He knocks down his first 3 of the game. Here we have Caleb Wilson against Norman Powell. I told you, look at that matchup. Caleb Wilson was really dynamic on the defensive end. Here we have Ivy getting an open midi against Mikel Brown. Man, we got to improve that defense. We really got to improve that defense. Another good play from Caleb Wilson. Intercepts the lob pass. He was a standout on the defensive end. Good closeout from Isaiah Joe on Norman Powell, and that leads to transition with Yegor Zhomin quarterbacking, spots the backdoor cut to Mikel Brown, and he draws a foul. He would make both free throws here. Never mind, I'm sorry. He would go 1 for 2 just like Yegor Zhomin. But we're still winning in the game. Yang Hansen was slow to get back in transition, so Kel'el Ware converts there. But Yang Hansen gets him back. Head tapper. I guess we'll count it as a poster dunk. Norman Powell gets the better of Caleb Wilson this time around. 18-13, 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Yegor Zoman gets to the paint again, going right around Tyler Hero. He is a defensive liability. Here we have a late closeout from Caleb Wilson, causes the miss, but Kel'el Ware goes right back at Yang Hansen, posterizes him this time. But we go to Yang Hansen in the post. We have a nice backdoor cut from Caleb Wilson, but for some reason he cannot finish. It seemed like a good look, but Caleb Wilson would miss a lot of what appeared to be chip shots for me at the rim. Again, Yegor Zoman in transition. He's got 9 points in the first quarter. Here we have Norman Powell attacking Yang Hansen. He's so slow. I don't know how that mismatch happened, but he took advantage there. Late shot clock. Norman Powell pulls up a midi. No good. Rebounded by Yegor Zoman. And you know what I'm going to do with Yegor Zoman, man. He gets right by Tyler Hero. Kick to Jeremy Grant in the corner. Splash. 25-20. 1 minute left in the first. We have a pick and roll with Yegor Zoman and Kelly Oubre. Easy money. Yegor Zoman was big time in the first quarter. 9 points and 3 assists to close out the first. We have a floppy set for Luke Kennard. Don't get the best look, but it was decent. A good first quarter all around. And then look at the second quarter. Most of this was just in the simulation, but we kept them at 34 points with a minute left to play in the second quarter. So our defense, I've said it time in and time out, our defense, it's one of the best defenses in the league somehow. I don't think we have the best defensive personnel, but our defense has been what has allowed us to remain competitive throughout the season and have a chance of making the play-in tournament. And we just need our offense to come around. We held them to 39 points in the first half. Yegor Zoman 15, 4, and 5 in the first half. Mikel Brown had 10 and 3. We're starting out the third quarter with a pick and roll play between Isaiah Joe and Day'Ron Sharpe. He converts that. More pick and roll. Yegor Zoman catches a body on Kel'el Ware, and he's flexing. More point paints for Yegor Zoman. Here we have more defense. Caleb Wilson causes the miss. I thought he was going to get a chase down, but he causes the miss. Here we have a backdoor cut, kind of, with Isaiah Joe. Hop step layup on Tyler Hero again. I told you, whoever offense on Tyler Hero, he is a defensive liability. Here oh my god, I was about to say good defense from Mikel Brown, but it is a recovery block from Day'Ron Sharpe. I try to take advantage of Norman Powell in the post with Caleb Wilson, but his offensive game is just, it's really raw right now. I don't know how he's missing that. I don't know how he can't take advantage of that mismatch. I try to go to it again. Norman Powell, you should be putting him in a body bag, but he cannot convert under the rim when he has a size mismatch. We got to work on that in the offseason. Here we have a nice PNR play between Yegor Zoman and Day'Ron Sharpe, and we're up 12 with 7 minutes to go in the third. Now here we have Precious Achiuwa in the game. He has a mismatch against Jaden Ivey, and he actually takes advantage of it. That's what I need Caleb Wilson to do. But getting back to Yegor Zoman, he's had a really good stretch. We saw, I think, 24 points per game over the last 3, and yeah, he was really aggressive. I was really aggressive with him this game. Here we have pick and roll, creating an open look for Jeremy Grant in the corner. He did not knock that down, and that would lead to a Kel'el Ware bucket. Now it's down to a 10-point lead for us. I call it timeout here. And now we have Hansen Yang in the post, kind of in like the elbow action. We have a backdoor cut from Jeremy Grant, and he's able to take advantage of the mismatch against Norman Powell. Yang Hansen would have a big third quarter. You'll see that in a couple of minutes when they go small ball here. More pick and roll with Yegor Zoman at the helm, but when they go under, he's just not able to hit these middies. So that's why I always make it a point of emphasis to get to the paint with him. Here we have a nice drop step from Yang Hansen on Kel'el Ware. Late in the shot clock, they doubled Yang Hansen. He kicks it to Kelly Oubre. Unable to make it, but that would be a running theme in the latter stages of this third quarter. Davion Mitchell is going to get a bucket on Kel'el Ware, and again, they're hanging around a little bit. 10-point lead, but they're playing small ball, so they have to double from the corner, and that's Luke Kennard in the corner. Come on, man. You cannot leave Luke Kennard open in the corner. Knockdown 3 assisted by Yang Hansen. Here we have Jordan Clarkson cooking Luke Kennard. He's able to recover off the ankle breaker. And we go right back to Yang Hansen in the post. They're going to double from the left wing. I make Jeremy Grant cut opportunistically, and he converts. We're up to a 15-point lead, 66-51. Here we have Kennard against Jordan Clarkson. He goes right by him. Luke Kennard is kind of a defensive liability on our end. But right back to it. Yang Hansen in the post. Draw the help defense from the corner. One more. They actually recovered really well. So now we're in the later stages of the shot clock. 5 seconds to go. I got to create a bucket with Yang Hansen. They don't send the double. And he's able to use his size to his advantage. 6, 6, and 3 for Yang Hansen here. And again, Jordan Clarkson goes right at Luke Kennard. He gives up another bucket. But you know what I'm going to do. Yang Hansen in the post. They help off of Isaiah Joe. No additional rotation, so he's going to knock that down. Yang Hansen took over the last 3 minutes of this game, and we go into the fourth up 71-55. Pretty much think it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to win this game, so I just sim out, and we win it 98-77. A big win for us. We gained some ground on Miami in the standings. Here are the stats. Diego Joe and Mikel Brown, my backcourt of the future, showed out. Isaiah Joe was prolific from outside. Day'Ron Sharpe had himself a 12-10 game. Yang Hansen in only 16 minutes had 6, 7, and 5. And you see it. We're 12th, but we're only 1 game back of Miami for the 10th seed. We're a half a game back of Orlando with 6 games left to play. First game being against San Antonio. We get the dub there. Surprisingly, we lose against Washington. That's one we should have won. We lost against New York in the first game, but we beat New York the second time around. Here, Isaiah Joe got an injury. Remember this. Isaiah Joe gets injured, and we're in 10th place. I guess we're tied with Miami, but we should have the tiebreaker. It shows we're in 10th place, so we have a play-in tournament spot locked up. We simcast against Boston, and we win that game, 98-94. Big win. Big win. I show the stats here because our defense is just so freaking good. We have the 3rd best defense in the entire league. Another big game against Detroit. It's close. Simcast to the 2-minute mark, 1 minute and 47 mark. In this game, we're down 3. Oh man, this game was crazy. I have a wide open look in the corner from Mikel Brown. I don't know why he stepped in. If he stayed in the corner, we probably would have got an open look. Good chase down block from Caleb Wilson. I try to push it. Nothing comes into play from that. Pick and roll from Mikel Brown goes nowhere. I get a bad look inside. Day'Ron Sharpe gets the offensive rebound. We're kicking it around the horn. We go to pick and roll action. Luke Kennard gets to that right wing. Fading. Bang! Tie game 96-96 with 38 seconds left to play. I bring in Isaiah Joe for Luke Kennard because I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, it shows he's a 78 overall, but he's still injured, so he gets absolutely cooked by Cade Cunningham, and they get an easy bucket, and they take the lead again, 98-96. We go to PNR action for Mikel Brown and Day'Ron. I force a pass that just isn't there, so we have to intentionally foul. Luckily, Karis LeVert misses the first free throw, so we are still alive, only down 3. 99-96. I go to Mikel Brown. Pick and roll action, I believe. Yes, Day'Ron Sharpe's going to set this screen. Nothing happens, so I have him reset the screen. We get to the left wing. That is a deep fading. Oh my God, that is a deep fading 3 from Mikel Brown. He ties the game 99-99 with 5 seconds left to play. And, oh my God, I thought they were just going to go to Cade here. I tried to switch to get Jeremy on him. They passed it to Asar, and I don't know why Asar took that shot. You know that's not you, bro. You know that's not you. We go to OT. We don't start out OT very well. Mikel Brown gives up a wide open 3 to Cade for absolutely no reason. We're down 5. I don't know why he's complaining. We go to Yang Hansen, who has a bit of a mismatch, and he draws the double team. Nothing comes of it. Gets the offensive board, goes right back up, slams it. Only down 3. Good rotations here. Great rotations here. We don't get the defensive rebound. We do close out on Cade, and we get the rebound there. I try to draw up a floppy play for Luke Kennard. Nothing happens, so we go to pick and roll action. That's a decent look. Yang gets the offensive rebound. I should have went up there, but I didn't. So I go back to the pick and roll play with Mikel Brown. And that's not a great look. He just gets swatted. and we're still down 3. Asar Thompson's going to convert this layup. We're down 5 with about a minute and a half left to play in overtime. I try to go to the go-to play. Luke Kennard, wing, catch and shoot 3. He knocks it down. We're still alive, only down 2 with a minute 20 left to play. We need a stop. Can we get it here? Good rotations, good help defense. We don't get the board. He kicks it to Karis LeVert, and that is a freaking backbreaker. We're down 5, and I kind of just FF. I had opportunities to win that game, and I kind of just did some dumb shit, I'm not going to lie. So we go to the next game. Close game against Washington. Tied game, actually. And I get a semi-decent look with Jeremy Grant in the corner, and we miss it. So the Wizards get the ball back. Darren Peterson going against Yegor Zhomin. That is not the matchup we want. That is not the matchup we want. Darren Peterson blows right by him. I thought I would get something from a backdoor cut from Yegor. Nothing happened, so I end up just settling for a Luke Kennard step back 3, and we lose that game too. And we finish the season 31-51. Trae Young wins MVP, still in Atlanta in my simulation. Darren Peterson, Rookie of the Year. Wemby Depoy. Quinn Snyder wins Coach of the Year. The Atlanta Hawks are really nice. Darren Peterson made the All-NBA second team in his year 1. Mikel Brown makes All-Rookie first team. And Caleb Wilson makes All-Rookie second team. So all things considered, this was a good year. Mikel Brown led us in scoring. Again, All-Rookie first team. He had a damn good year. Jeremy Grant was my second leading scorer. He was the veteran we needed to have to take pressure off our young guys from time to time. Caleb Wilson was actually the third leading scorer, with him being as raw offensively as he is. Yegor Zhomin was a lot more efficient in his year 2. He is still growing on the offensive end. Kelly Oubre was solid. Isaiah Joe brought the much needed 3-point shooting to our team when I traded for him. Day'Ron Sharpe was a solid rim running center that could attack the glass, and I'm still trying to develop Yang Hansen, who had a lot better season this year offensively and with his efficiency. Again, our defense is stellar, but our offense, we still need that internal development, and I still need to add more shooting. The Atlanta Hawks would actually win the NBA Finals here. Trae Young Finals MVP. This just shows we're in an alternate universe. LeBron retires in Chicago. Kevin Durant retires as well. Al Horford retires in LA. And here are your 2 Hall of Famers. And those are your jersey retirements, Braun and KD. Now, going into the lottery, we have the 5th best odds to get the number 1 pick. 5th best. Lowest we can drop to is number 7. So, I'm thinking, all right, we might have a shot to jump into the top 3. But, lo and behold, Orlando's projected here, and we fall to fucking 7. We fall to 7. I think last year we fell to 8. So, that's back-to-back years of us falling in the lottery, which is really unfortunate. Though I don't really know much about the 2027 class. Not many people are talking it up like the 2025 class, like the 2023 class, but I do know Bruce Branch. I do know him, and I wanted to prioritize adding 3-point shooting and adding offensive upside. I know he's one of the better guys in the class, so I was really monitoring this top 3. Tyron Stokes went, Cameron Williams went, and then Hugo went at number 3. So I'm thinking maybe I trade up to 4 because Boston's not really looking to rebuild. And I have a litany of fucking draft capital. So I try to make a Godfather offer here. I offer them all of my picks in 2027. I have 3 in this class. They didn't like that. They wanted a future first, I think in 2028, and they accepted that. So I was able to land Bruce Branch, 6'8", small forward. They have him going to Arizona here. And let me just read you guys his scouting report because I don't really know much about him, so I had to do some research. This is according to NBA Draft Room. Big time talent who can score from inside and out, has a silky smooth jumper and a great release. The sky is the limit. Reclassified to join the 2026 recruiting class, and according to NBA Draft Room, he is the 2nd best prospect in the class. I was trying to look for a player comp. I was scouring the internet for a player comp, but I couldn't find one. But I was freaking ecstatic to land the 2nd best player in the class while going into this draft with the number 5 pick. So I thought this was quite the W for us. I still had another pick later in the first round, and I was just looking for names that I recognized, and I saw Elijah Arenas, so I was like, I might as well take him. Given the name, he's got to have a lot of offensive upside. Bruce Branch, 78 overall in this draft. I think that was the second highest mark, and then Elijah Arenas, a 72 overall for a late first round pick is pretty solid in my opinion. Of course, I'm going to bring both of those guys in. Accepting everybody, I thought about letting Reed Shepherd go just because he's not performing for me in this simulation like he is in real life, but I decided to bring him back because he could be used as a trade piece at the very least. So looking at our depth, like, we have really good depth on our perimeter. I just really want to solidify that starting 5 position. Like right now we still have Day'Ron Sharpe there, or I have to bring him back in the offseason, but I still have Yang Hansen, so I can either develop him into being the starting 5 or I can go in a different direction. But that will be it for the catch-up episode number 6. Trust me, all episodes in the future will be the traditional, like, during game type of commentary. But this was a fun one. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, please subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the next one.